So what's the advice you give to some like a new student come to Boston, wanna rent apartment?
Do your research in terms of calling or getting in touch with an agent, going on Craigslist or Zillow, and following up with and basically, screening out an agent, making sure that they're being upfront. A majority of our purpose as a real estate agent is to be educational as well, in terms of what, like, the biggest hesitation I get that we get mainly from students is they're not educated.
What they should understand and what should they know before they rent?
So before they rent is understanding, majority of all rentals are 1 year.
Okay.
Most of it, especially for students in this area, September 1st is the date to move in.
Contract.
Yeah, so one of the contract, the date, the biggest question that we get from students is, can we move in early? Most of everything is September 1st.
Okay.
So one of the questions we get is, I'm looking to move in August 22nd, 23rd. You're very, very, very unlikely that's going to happen. It's a September 1st, and
Why?
that's because everything is on a cycle. So most contracts, if not all contracts, are from September 1st to August 31st.
That means some other people still living in the
Correct.
property.
So that's another thing too, is another question we get is, it's a cleaning situation. So when you're moving to Boston as a whole, you have to understand that the current tenant's last date of move, like when they move out, is August 31st. So when they move out, it's a move-in, move-out base. So apartments are cleaned, and some do have a August 29th move out where they can get in ahead of time and clean. But for most of the time, what they do is they clean the day of September 1st while the moving is going on.
Okay. So while I'm in Boston, I see people changing from place to place. They work in Boston, for example, but they live in Cambridge. Then they move to another place because they say even like quieter place or closer to their work. So for the students, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
So as you said, they cannot change from unless they finish the 1 year contract. So what the location they should rent? What the best location for them?
That's all subjective to what they're looking for.
Okay.
So if proximity is most important to them, then as close to the college as possible. But if they're looking for, to be further out, so the closer to school, the price point could be higher, closer to school. But if they want to live outside the city and have more space or more renovation for about the same price, they may want to look outside the city.
Okay.
So it's all subjective to, I guess, what they're looking for the most is proximity. So they want to be close to school more than anything else. In terms of when they rank of what's important to them, proximity is definitely the
This is the important because they're not living forever in the property.
Yeah.
And so the most important is to be close to the school so they don't
Absolutely,
waste
absolutely.
time.
But again, it's subjective. So there are some students that don't mind traveling because for various reasons of why they may want to not be so close.
For some advantages, right?
Correct. So for example, Boston in general is not a very dog-friendly city. So if someone has a dog or is coming in, that's more important to them to bring their dog than to be that close to school. They may go outside.
Yes. And
or
sometimes,
parking. Parking's another thing. So.
Oh yeah.
So
Someone
parking
driving.
so parking. If a student is coming with a car, parking is extremely expensive, especially as you get closer to certain schools.
What do you see with the students came with the car first? They staying with the car? They get advantage from the car, or you advise them to sell their cars and come rent?
I would,
close?
if I was to advise, I would say don't bring your car.
Okay.
There's no reason
That's
to,
good advice.
unless they want to go outside the city, and if they need to. But I would personally advise don't bring your. If you don't need to, I wouldn't bring your car.
Come without the car,
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
try.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, because then you have to get rid of your car.
Yeah.
Most of the students like live in other states, then they move here. So they can they call you before, or they come before the time and talk to you? You show them some apartments, then when
Correct.
they come, they rent it.
Yes, so there are scenarios if the landlord permits. It's called sight unseen,
Okay.
where if somebody is unable to come here, they'll either have somebody see the apartment on their behalf, or we will go out and take a video of the apartment, or do a FaceTime or a Skype.
Okay.
And then we can provide the video to them if they are interested. Everything can be done electronically, including applications, a deposit for the apartment, leases. That can all be done electronically. So theoretically, if permitted by the landlord, they don't even have to come here. They can basically come here on September 1st, and we can hand them the keys.
How important is contacting you before they come, or like how easy they make it to them when they contact you? Like, is it like, I think it's easier for them to contact you, or like get know the area before they rent?
We would encourage them to conduct research on the area prior to coming. So again, as a real estate agent, I guess in layman's terms, we're essentially glorified customer service. I mean, that's what we do.
Okay, where they can contact you?
So Leopold and McMaster's Realty
Okay.
is that's where my specific contact is, and then my email is steve@lmcrealtyboston.com, or you can contact me directly at 617-903-7767. That's my personal information. So I'm in Allston, Massachusetts. We provide services all over the city, but specifically a majority of the work that we have most exposure to is in the Allston, Brighton, Brookline, Fenway area. And then we also Beacon Hill as well. But again, as an agent, I do want to also say that a lot of times we work with other offices, so we have exposure to, most agents have exposure to a majority of listings because it's a shared network. So that's something as well.